we'll see it next.
Yeah, let's talk about comps for a second here. I know that obviously we're not like in control of the comps. Sig is still the character you want to be on, of course. But their comp is just like actually better than ours at this point. Like fundamentally, their comp is better than ours.
Because of the surgeon?
Because of the support line. So basically, what's gonna happen here is that they have way more pressure than us. We have like damage boosted Ash, which is cool. But Ash doesn't really want to shoot shields, right? Like, I don't know if you've ever played Ash. Shooting shields sucks because
Sometimes,
our
yeah,
reload
really
takes,
quickly.
I'll just tell you, reloading on Ash takes forever. We want to shoot people, which means your Ash doesn't want to shoot shields. She will, but
Yeah,
she doesn't want to. Your Mercy's not shooting anything, and your Kiriko's not shooting shields either because it does 40 damage. It's like throwing ping pong balls at a WWE wrestler. Like, it's just
yeah.
useless. So we don't really have shield pressure anymore. We have this soldier, but that's pretty much it. Whereas they have like a Zen. Oh man, Zen just loves to shoot shields. Bap just loves to shoot shields. Sojourn literally gets charged shooting shields.
Yeah,
And so their comp is just like cut and dry poke, where they do what they want to do really well, and that's spam. I said poke. It's more of a spam. I think it's kind of the same thing at this point. But you're gonna find that if you are trying to like face tank anything, you're gonna get blown up pretty much in a heartbeat. At this point, you guys don't even have Discord Orb, and so getting kills is gonna be way harder too. So you're gonna have to adjust your playstyle. You obviously don't know what they have right now, but like our comp has turned from like a spam comp into like, man, I don't even know what I would call this anymore. This is like a, man, I hope our Ash. This is like
hold the ground comp.
I hope our Ash gets picks comp. Like that's kind of what we're on right
Yeah,
now. So you're gonna try and survive and not take too many resources. Like you don't want this Mercy to have to fly over to you.
of course.
We also, I would say we want to take angles because we do. Like ideally we want to take angles. We want our Ash and you at least. We want the Mercy and the Ash on one angle and you and the Soldier on another. But it's kind of scary when we're playing into like Widow, Sojourn, Zen.
I think that's one of my mistakes I'm gonna make, not taking the off angle, because my go-to position is on the stairs.
Yeah.
And I think now that you say that I left my Ash there out to dry and just get picked off immediately, because that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna roll us first fight.
Yeah, in poke versus poke. So if you had a mirror, let's say you had their comp and they had your comp, you want to be on like a lot of angles. Like your Widow needs to be in her own world trying to get picks, and your Zen and Bap can be on another angle, and then you and your Sojourn can be on another angle, right? Like it's poke, it's spam. You want to create huge like lanes of pressure. It's way easier to show you on Junkertown. This point sucks, okay? Like this point design by Blizzard I think sucks because it's just there's like one lane, right? Of course you can stand on the right, you can stand on the left, but it's one lane. Whereas think Junkertown, right? How there's kind of 3 lanes where you can go, like proper lanes on Junkertown first, and you kind of want to pressure all 3 of those lanes. We'll have better examples to show this on like these points with how many angles there are.
Oh yeah, on top, on the side.
Yeah, but we want to create multiple angles of pressure in a poke mirror. In our comp, I'm a little hesitant to tell you to take multiple angles. It's still correct, like we still want to take multiple angles, but the problem is that like Widow and Sojourn and Zen and even Sigma to some extent are all like one-shot characters, and it's like very scary for your Ash to be alone trying to play against a comp like this. I've talked enough though, we just need to kind of see how this goes. I think stairs is a good default because you can always you have cover very close to you and you can use your cooldowns to get to that cover, and your support should be able to see you here. Can. Nice.
Yeah, I see what I did. I just yeet my shield there.
Yeah.
Like, you shoot this thing.
Yeah, it's been 6 seconds since you saw the enemy. You now have no shield. It's like, okay, well, what did we accomplish? Well, nothing.
Nothing.
Right? Nothing.
Yeah.
I like to start using this wall as cover, but because right here, right, there is no cover. That's why you just use your shield. This wall is good cover. if you're gonna play this wall, you have to know when it's not safe anymore, right? If the enemy team starts walking at you, you have to realize, all right, this wall is not safe. Like I need to kind of do one of these and get to here. Use some cooldowns to get to here. So yeah, I mean, you already see it's like so clear in hindsight, right? Even if you don't think about it in game, it's like, well, what the hell did I just use my shield for? Well,
Yeah, because you told me earlier too.
yeah,
A few
well,
times, but now
yeah.
I can see it.
Right. I mean, this can be used as cover too, so we're maybe unintentionally doing it. And the good news is that they're not really like focusing on us. They're heavily focusing on our backline here, which gives us more freedom to like be aggressive on this angle and try and get the poke onto them. But a lot of the times people just default to the tank, and especially in this map, like this is a much safer position for them than this, right? So they're playing here because they don't really I don't know, they just don't see your team as a threat or whatever, which is pretty fair because we have Soldier Ashe instead of Widow Sojourn. But a lot of the times in your games, you'll see them play here, and you will be like the center of their attention, and you'll need to use cover a little bit more than you are. But if you recognize that you're not getting shot because you're not getting shot, believe it or not, then you can like be much more aggressive and try and get angles. Try and actually get, like, you're not in effective range to shoot anybody except the Sigma right now. Yeah, and we're like walking to the edge to shoot, and then like very micro, like very micro tech. Like you walk forward, you shoot, and you walk back. You walk forward, you shoot, you walk back. That's good, and it's automatic for you, very clearly automatic, because you're clearly not, I mean, this is not something you think about every time you shoot. This is just what you're doing.
No, it's just automatism.
Right. And it's good that that's already automatic. I mean, some people, like when you watch low elo, they'll just sit here and shoot, and they like won't walk back, right? So it's good that that's already in your gameplay. All right.
Yeah, maybe there I think I made a mistake to not go to, because you said you want to in the beginning to play with the Ashe, and because I did not, they had the easy time to pick us off. Because I was just tunnel vision to spamming their backline and just ignore the fucking Sigma there.
I think your mistake here is that you're not being aggressive enough from this angle. So this is, believe it or not, this is good for you, right? So you don't really have people looking at you.
No.
And that means, well, one, if they're not looking at you, they're looking at somebody, right? So you should kind of realize that this is going on without even looking here, that these people are going to be getting pressured a lot. And it is their job to stay in cover, right? So like he just dies because he doesn't play cover. And you can't fix stupid. And I'm not calling him stupid. I'm saying where he was standing was stupid.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. But
so I just
your mistake is that you're not
up.
taking advantage of this enough, right? They're not looking at you. You have all your cooldowns. You can just walk up and start, you know, be a problem for them. Make them look at you. Right? We're pretty timid here. They're looking, you know, their whole team is looking at your team. You're getting shot by only a Baptiste right now. And we're just not making ourselves enough of an issue. Like look at their Widow, right? She doesn't care about you. Their Zen doesn't care about you. Their Sigma doesn't care about you. Their BAP is like half-heartedly shooting at you. I mean,
just a shield and then stop scaring.
Right, like look at how safe we're playing. And I get that we're trying to be safe, but our team is dying. Like we need to do something. Oh yeah, so much better, right? Look, 3 of them just looked at you. While our shield is already dead and our cooldowns are maybe, I mean, I like the rock, but cooldowns are maybe a bit less optimal. At least they're looking at us now, right? You know, we can deal with it. That's what we do. We deal with this. We can handle the aggression. Our soldier and our mercy cannot handle this kind of aggression. So now, yeah, now it's like, all right, I need to get the hell out of here, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully that, like, as soon as you see that Sig walk on the staircase, it's like, ah, fuck, like I need to go, like now. So nice. Their DPS out DPS us. Honestly, besides the, like, you took a little too long to play aggressive, but I think you played this fight okay. Like you said that you like had mistakes this fight. Honestly, I think you were mostly fine. You just need to make yourself a bit more of a threat. Being on an off angle is awesome. We love that.
Let them shoot me instead of my team.
Right. We can deal with it. Our team cannot deal with it. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think your play is mostly good. Sometimes their DPS just like I don't want to be that guy. Our Ashe has 7% ult charge. I doubt that he hit a single shot that entire fight. Our soldier stood out in the open and died. And then got rezzed and stood out in the open and like it just didn't work, right? So sometimes it happens where you can't like do everything in a fight, but what we could have done is maybe, you know, if we got the Widow's attention onto us earlier, the Widow doesn't hit the shot on our you know, our Ashe. We give our Ashe more time to get kills. But like, let's say this fight went on for like a straight up minute where you're just like sitting here taking all the aggro and like rotating your cooldowns and you're playing really well, and then we still lose, then it's like, well, you literally just couldn't do anything else, right? Like maybe you could have fragged and gotten some crazy mechanical plays and gotten kills, but
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the most mechanically advanced.
Right.
That's why I love to play tank.
Right.
It's more like positioning and mindsets that seem more important on them.
Right.
Yeah, I was just trying to help my Kiriko out because I know if she dies, I'm fucked too. So I wanted to help her as much as I could at this point.
It's probably too late. Like at this point, right? Man, your Kiriko might survive because she gets his teleport out of here, but you, like at this point, it's like throw your corpse at the payload and try and stall it for like 2 seconds or something, right? Maybe we get an exit kill. That's probably our best outcome here. Like we get a kill while we die, but actually playing to live here is probably not the move because I just don't think there's any situation in which we live here. So
yeah. I mean, I was constantly noticing that the DPS and mostly the support is like coming. They're like going away with way too much shit at my likings.
Yeah, they're doing what they want right now, right? Honestly, I almost want to just say this is a comp thing. Like we do not have like pressure like they do. I mean, they can walk up and they can just shoot at us because their comp is so good at it. Like they picked the characters to just walk and shoot at you.
And we did not.
We have, at this point our comp is horrible. We have a Genji and a soldier and we're all over the place. Our Genji wants to...
it was just panic mode.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, we're losing this fight very bad.
Right. Like our Genji wants to go in, our Sigma wants to stay back, our soldier wants to run 30 feet off to the left on the high ground and shoot for free. Our Mercy, like our comp's just everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So we're getting comp diffed at this point. I'm sure there's still individual plays we can talk about in micro play style, but like this is just not good. Yeah, we do feel a little bit lost. Like, what's our trigger to go in? What's, you know, we're trying to look for things like that, but we don't really see it. And so we're just kind of playing at the corner. The trap you're going to want to watch out for is that when you get to this corner, when the payload gets to this corner, is like, are we going to walk back? Are we going to give them more space? Like, hopefully right now in game you were thinking about this, like, where do I want to fight? Because we're just kind of sitting here not fighting.
Yeah, I was thinking like, okay, this is not gonna work out. I can just like spam at them for hours, but it's not gonna change anything. But like you said, we don't have anything to like trigger.
Right.
Like now is our chance to go in and get some kills.
Right. The scary thing for you, and man, like imagine walking around this corner and just like seeing all 5 of them, and they have like this pure poke spammy comp. It's very scary to walk around this corner. So walking around the corner is really not what we're going to do. The issue is that we're like, this is our kind of hill to die on that we've picked, right? Like this little corner here. This one is that like all of their spam damage can kind of come like a long ways here and still get this angle onto us, and we can try and shut them out, but I don't think it's going to work. We'll see. I mean, I'm just going to watch. I actually don't know how this is going to go down, but they have ult advantage on us. They also have like big comp advantage, and we're not really sure what we want to do at this point.
Yeah, I in hindsight put it like the barrier because now it can just rocket me.
Yeah. what I was going to talk about here is just positioning. So what we're
I
doing...
really just wanted to hold that corner. I didn't want to payload to get
Right.
further. I didn't want to back off, give him more space.
Right, and I'm not here to talk about you backing up. I'm here to talk about, you have this tempo where you walk left, shoot, walk right, right? It's the same as before, right? You're trying to kind of use your cover in between your shots. Right, walk left, walk right. This is like the issue, right? We went too far. Like we're too far left. That's kind of what I was gonna say. And you like in game, you can definitely like feel this in game. Like if you play tank enough, you kind of feel when you're not where you're supposed to be. You're like, oh shit, I'm discorded and I don't have a shield, and like holy hell, I'm probably gonna die here.
Yeah.
And it's good for him to rock here, right? Because your shield just broke, and honestly, a lot of Sigmas just panic eat right here. I probably would too. I'm not like a great Sigma player. But hopefully, we didn't watch, but hopefully you hold your E.
Yeah.
For after, right? Because you're gonna you're gonna need it, right? Yeah, good rotation. The problem is you're not in LOS of your healers, but
I know. I
you
just
kind of had to
avoid...
make you kind of had to make this rotation. So
it's like ultimate Zimitos. Like I don't want to get fucked by window.
Yeah, you didn't really have a choice here. But the reason you didn't have a choice is because you played poorly earlier and had to use up your cooldowns. So.
I understand. Again, shield.
Nice, we're shooting someone that isn't Sigma. I like that. Oh, we're doing it again. All right, this is good. We might die here, but that's just the nature of these fights. Our team is kind of just better than theirs. Our Genji just dashed through their team and they got very lost, and we're just walking at them. But I think in an equal matchup, we don't win this fight. Just because you're forced away over here, and then your Kiriko TP's here with you, and like you don't really have cooldowns still. We kind of just should lose this fight. But once we get into the fight, you're doing pretty well. You're mostly ignoring their Sig. You went for the Sojourn when she ulted. Yeah, this felt like press buttons to win fight, right?
Yeah, it was really panicky.
Yeah, like I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna use my cooldowns, goddammit, right?
Yeah, because the Baptiste was gone, I was low, the Sigma was the only thing there, so I just dealt with him, but we won.
At this point, it's like very hard to even coach positioning pre-fight because we have a comp that just like doesn't pre-fight. Like Genji doesn't really do that very well. Soldier wants to be on an off angle, but like there's only so many safe off angles he can take. And what's gonna end up happening is he's not gonna off angle because he's at too much of a risk of dying. So he's gonna kind of play with the core, and your Genji's just gonna be floating around next to you, and it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for them to walk at me and hope that like no one dies until they get here, because if like
I think that was going in my mind. I was like constantly hopefully no one dies, hopefully no one dies to video, hopefully no one dies to video.
Like their comp is made to pick you apart before the fight. Your comp is just like garbage all over the place. Like I hope we're just better than them, right? So.
Again, the shields.
Right. We finally get like a little tiny bit of an off angle, and hopefully we notice that this happened. I don't know if you did, but if you watch it back, you can see it happen. So.
Oh yeah.
Right there, you kind of see them go there. And that's kind of telling on how we're going to play this fight, right? We have 3 of them coming up here and 2 of them coming up main. So we need to make like a split-second decision, because we have a comp that kind of wants to go on them.
Just to drop and then...
Right. Do we want... Not even to drop, right? Because if you drop, they run here, and then their comp meets up together here, and you're like chasing them through, and it's like very ugly. But it's kind of like, oh, we can pick one of these groups to go on, like right now, because they're split, and it's very hard for them to get together. And we're not going to make that call because I don't even think we realize that this is what's going on.
No, it totally did not realize it.
But yeah, as the shot caller, when you do see this, like if you did see this and you're like, okay, 3 of them are in the tunnel right now, we need to go on something, right? Because we can take this 5v2 or this 5v3, and we have a Genji that wants to literally dash on their head. So yeah. Very weird. Like our window's already closed, but it's because was there Sig low? Yeah, their Sig couldn't even walk up any farther. How did that guy even get low? Like what? What even happened to that guy?
I think the Kiriko headshots. I don't know. They just were gone, and I know we were pretty confused because
Damage boosting soldier on an off angle. Good on your soldier for taking the off angle. I like that. The BAP is so worried about shooting you that he's not healing his tank. And then because he's weak, he's not comfortable peeking out in front of you and tries to regroup with his team. At this point, hopefully we notice that like something's not right. I don't see anybody.
yeah,
right?
we
Like,
were confused at this point.
Right. And at this point, maybe it's actually okay to drop. I wouldn't say it's like the best play, but now that all 5 of them are in there, you are like, your damage is extremely suffocating in a passage like this. So if you can get to one of these ends and start putting the damage on, that'd be great. You probably can't make it to here. But you also have...
I'm just gonna say, I just realized there was an entrance there that goes on the top.
So we're just not familiar enough with the map. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's okay. But you know, next time maybe you notice it, and then like this is like if you shoot in there, even if you're just aiming in the mouth of the tunnel, not even at them, you're gonna hit something, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna hit something. So. We're very confused.
Yeah, we were confused. Like, were they going down there?
Wow, this guy is a robot. He just cannot understand that you have cooldowns to do something about this. I really hope that you do something about this because
I was looking for him.
Yeah, he is giving you this opportunity time and time and time again. Like he just will not wait for your rock. So we go for it. I mean, we're too slow, but we go for it, right? That's kind of the important thing is that although we were too slow and we can't save anybody, when we did see it happen, we knew what we had to do, even if we couldn't.
My defense, he flew over my head.
Yeah. I mean, I think with more experience, you'll be able to lock onto this guy faster because you do know where he is at the start of the flux, right? And
and now I see.
Right. Yeah.
I just saw the guy flew up.
Right. So.
Yeah.
This could be late in the block and we're, you know, our mental is very tired or we're just too focused on people underneath us. But yeah, definitely a play we can make. Definitely a play we tried to make. We were just a little too slow. This Sig also, I don't think this was intentional. Here's some Sigma tech that you may or may not know. You can flex people onto your own head. He actually did it. I don't know if you realize this. Just watch their Sigma.
Yeah, with the Mercy.
Yes. This is... I don't think he did this intentionally, but you can do this intentionally, believe it or not. Just watch this. This is very funny, actually. Maybe this was intentional.
That's why the Kiriko save didn't go through.
Weird. Maybe he didn't do it on his head because the Mercy died on the ground, but it really looked... When it was full speed, it looked like he did it. Either way, the tech is valid, so... Yeah, it's something you can do. It's very niche, like very, very niche. If they have a Transcendence on the ground, so if you flux and they Transcendence on the ground, you can flux them onto your head so that they don't receive the Transcendence healing on the ground and have a better chance of getting the kill. But yeah, that like, man, if that ever happens to you in a game where that situation comes up, it's like, man, I've waited 18 years. I've waited 18 years, but I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna do this, right? So yeah, it's very cool. I actually thought that just happened. Kind of a nerd thing, but I don't actually. I think the Mercy gets fluxed on the ground. Yeah, it was the ground. Damn, that would have been cool. Nice. We're down a lot, but they have no tank. Maybe we try to make a hero flux here. We'll see. I wouldn't say it would be a great one though because we're half HP, but we have some cooldowns. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we think better of it. Probably good. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get through this.
Oh yeah, I remember here I made a very, very bad play.
Nice. That was good.
Then this happens. Yeah, I know it was a bad play.
Unfortunate. It even looked like you were going for the cover first. Like sometimes even like high level Sigmas will flux and they'll be like, ah, shit, he has rock, but they'll like
I was looking for
find some cover.
to go behind, but it was like our walls. So as soon
Like
as I
here,
realized there's
yeah.
no cover, I was like, I'm fucked.
Yeah, it looked like you were gonna try and like hide behind this, and then you kind of said, ah, no, I don't really care, and then this happens. Yeah. Well, nothing to say about it because both of us already know what needed to happen. So
Yeah.
also, I would just like to say this decision making is extremely questionable to stand in front of this window. So I don't know exactly what I would say to do about it because it's a long way to cover, but like this is generally not advised. I would not like to stand here. This is
Yeah.
you should feel pretty scared when you're in front of a window like this.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always.
Like that shield lasted like half of a millisecond or something. It was like, okay. Luckily you live. You're probably getting hard pocketed by both your supports at this point.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Let's just go back 5 seconds. I want to see. Yeah, you have healing beam and Kiriko pocket. So like, luckily you live.
Quite lucky.
Yeah. Maybe in a ranked game your supports are not this good, and then you're just dead. So.
Yeah.
I like how you move the rock over. You almost one-shot the BAP. I think it just like barely missed him. Maybe even unintentionally.
At this point we wanted to chase because I was like chase because we noticed they're very low. But once they were out of sight and we started seeing much, okay, yeah, take off.
Yep.
And then yeah, of course.
Yep, nothing to say because you already know what to do about that. So.
The shield again. What am I
Nice.
blocking?
Yeah. Nice try on the rock. Just a little too slow, but the attempt was there. So. The problem is he has flex, but it's been so long in this match. I'm willing to bet our ult tracking is like sketchy at best.
At this point we knew we were lost. So like whatever,
Yeah,
just try to.
People are on autopilot here. The fights are like long and messy, and no one's really thinking that much. So.
Yeah, because we knew we already lost, but we still tried our best. At this point, the supports were calling out to help the Sigma, so focus, help Sig. So that's why I survived there for so long,
Crazy
even though
rock,
I shouldn't have.
Crazy rock flick incoming. I can feel it. Nice try. Yeah, there's a lot I could say about microplay here. Honestly, I can tell this is not like your best gameplay. This is not you like thinking through every decision. And because of that, I'm not gonna really be like super picky on what we're doing here. It's late into the map. We've already lost. We're probably not giving it that much thought. But yeah, our abilities, our cooldowns, our ults, it all could use some work here. Very clearly, you know that as much as I do. This is good. The Sig's dead, which is actually the reason why we're doing this. But like, if the Sig was alive, let's say he flexed and he like came down here and he's still alive, you just kind of ignore him and walk back here. Take pressure. Like Sig is so good. You can just walk and take on 2 or 3 or 4 squishies aggro and live for like a long time and even kill them. Sometimes you can just straight up kill 2 or 3 on your own. Right? So we're shooting squishies here. It's because the Sig's dead, but even if the Sig was alive, I'd want you doing this exact same thing. Even if they had a Sigma right here on our backline, I would want you doing this, right? So. We died in the 5 seconds I skipped. I thought we were pretty safe, actually. What? I mean, we have no cooldowns, I guess. Yeah, we're pressing W with no cooldowns. I mean, I guess our team is also dying behind us. Weird. I misread the fight. I thought we were like cleaning up here. No, we're not.
Yeah, it's like I heard blades. So I was like, okay, push on, and then
Yeah.
he died. So it's like, oh. As soon as I realized that he died, I tried to back off, but he, like I said, no cooldowns to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Main takeaway from this. Let me get my epic pin loaded up here. Slowly but surely, where to go? There it is. All right. Sigma gameplay specifically. Don't shoot Sigma, right? This is, I think I have like 2 or 3 like really big pieces of advice that I think we can improve on.
The Sigma
Don't.
and the shield usage, I think.
I'm gonna list it as don't autopilot abilities. This goes for I VOD review a ton of people, and I say this to probably 90% of the players underneath Masters. When you're playing an ability-based character, you cannot autopilot your abilities. Because you will just lose out on so much value. This goes for every single character that's ability based. If you are autopiloting your abilities, I promise you you're like hindering your own gameplay, and it's hard to like get away from this habit of just pressing your buttons when you want to press your buttons. But you need to like have an intention when you do this. So let's just say this is like 85% of the time we don't want to be shooting Sigma. But I think the rest of our gameplay was okay. Our comp was horrible. But that's not your fault. In the Sigma mirror, we need to be like especially not autopiloting. Because like every ability counters another ability. So if he's rocking you, you want to be able to shield it. If he's eating, you want to be able to rock it because he can't put a shield. If he's flexing, you want to have rock for it. You don't want to eat when he has rock. Like, right? It's a lot to think about, but you need to be thinking about it because otherwise all of your abilities are going to get no value. So
yeah.
Do you have any Sigma specific questions?
Not at the moment.
Right.
It's like sometimes I try to use a shield to like protect someone or to like block big chunks of like damage.
Yeah.
I usually have the feeling in my head that I'm not using my shield enough because I'm using it so little. It seems like maybe it's because I'm playing a lot of Rhyme, but sometimes in my head I have this thing like, why am I not using my shield? So I just then yoink my shield to just throw my shield out.
Yeah. Well, we both watched this replay, and I think you're using your shield too much. So
yeah.
Yeah, and think about it like this: it's okay to take poke damage because then you can get more support. Like if you can take some poke damage before you put your shield, then your supports can heal it back up, and then you can be that much closer to your support ultimate. So
yeah,
think of it as like Sig Shield always felt like this. Actually, even in Overwatch 1, I tell people Sig Shield is for blocking specific cooldowns or bursts of damage. Rather than blocking big chunks of damage. Ryan shield used to be like I'm just going to sit here and walk forward with my shield up and whatever damage gets blocked is cool. But I give the same exact advice. Honestly, Ryan shield at this point is just like a very selfish ability where you use it to get closer to the enemy and you use it when you find yourself out of position.
To big fuck out.
Right. Yeah. And Sigma shield is like the same way. Like big cooldown coming at you, okay, then you can shield. Zen's throwing a burst at you, then you can shield. You're low and Widow's looking at you, then you can shield. But you're just not going to shield to shield, right? So, yeah, this is my Sigma advice. I think your Sigma was pretty decent. You're lucky that I'm not talking about your positioning because I think almost every single player that I review is like, okay, you're just like, your positioning is horrible. But yours was like pretty good. Like, there's a couple of times I pointed out where you kind of got caught out, but I think...
The wall is my best friend.
I think you're pretty good at like walking back when the aggression is hot and walking forward when you need to aggress more and generally using cover. I think you're okay at. So yeah, that was pretty good. We'll go to the Coliseum.
Like the wall is my best friend.
Yeah. The wall is a shield with infinite health, so don't take it for granted.
That's a good way to